Welcome to Hope Happenings, the podcast of the Radford University Highlander Center for Character and Public Impact. I'm Kirsten French, student employee and host for today. On today's episode, we'll be talking about hopeful things happening in undergraduate research. I'm joined by Professor Joe Werko and Senior Eden Burt. Welcome, you guys. Please tell me about yourselves and your role at Radford University.
Thank you so much for having us today, Kirsten. And I'm very excited to be here and on camera and on mic. And as you said, I'm Joe Werko. I'm the director of the Office of Undergraduate Research, and I'm a professor of chemistry and have been at Radford for 23 years. And I have the best job on campus because whenever faculty and students can't quite figure out how to do a thing, they come to me and they expect me to solve it. So it's a wonderfully eclectic job.
Hi, my name is Eden Burt. Thank you, Kirsten, for having us. I am a art education student teacher, a teacher of promise, and it's surreal to say a graduating senior. I'm graduating this spring, and I have been a executive student assistant and peer mentor with the Office of Undergraduate Research for 3 years and a research collaborator with Joe.
And also been recognized at the state level, the national level, 2 first author publications. Are you embarrassed yet? Can we move on?
A little bit.
Well, then you are both perfectly qualified to tell me about the Office of Undergraduate Research.
Sure. So this is always a tough one for me to narrow it down. But it's a student support office first and foremost. Now, the students don't get these transformative opportunities without the faculty, so it's both a faculty and a student support office. The most notable way people notice this is helping people share, or what we call disseminate in the business, their research, what they've discovered, what they've done. So this is large conferences on campus, like the Student Engagement Forum, Winter Card. It's also ideally where people see it a little less, where we're supporting local organizations like the Wildlife Society, American Chemical Society, helping them to put on events, Wicked Fest, among others. And then there's grants to do research over the summer. There's travel grants to literally around the world, certainly around the country. Every year we send students to present at conferences. And then in everything we do, we try to interweave professional development in a natural way because it's a language really that the students need of what employers are looking for. So those career readiness skills. And of course, to do that well, you have to have, humility and care and hope and all the things that this center is about. I'm very excited to be here and be part of the center and to collaborate with them in a number of projects. And then lastly, and I've worked with Dr. Keith, who's hiding over there in the back, but you can't see her behind the camera, on multiple projects where we've worked on embedding research into the curriculum and that faculty support piece and that element, so it's scalable. Because Eden's going to talk about some of her wonderful experiences, but a lot of that's one-on-one projects and mentoring, and that's not scalable for our faculty. So you have to put it in the curriculum so everybody can have that opportunity.
Yeah, I'd love to bounce off that and talk a little bit about our research as well. Our research focused on the impact of experiential learning, and so undergraduate research on the development of career skills and those skills like hope, humility, and as well as communication, critical thinking, being able to collaborate with different ideas, different people. And so we found that students that were both in STEM and non-STEM fields both received the same benefit, but weren't able to really articulate that. So that's something that definitely faculty and courses should probably work on. And I personally have been really fortunate to have been first author and to have been published twice, which would not have been possible without the overwhelming support from Joe or the Office of Undergraduate Research.
That's really, really amazing. And I would love to know what some of your favorite projects have been that promote character and public impact.
You want me to go first, or you want to?
You can go first.
All right, so this is, first of all, unfair question. You're asking me what my favorite child is, and I never want to do that. But I'm going to choose the project that won the Rising Star Award at the Wicked Fest this past fall. And there's 2 reasons for that. And I actually think the most important part's not the work they did, but it was a group of 4 students. And I couldn't think of 4 people with different lived experiences and personalities. And behind the scenes, there was all the, the drama you might imagine of doing the storming and norming and forming of group work. But they pulled together and they pulled and supported and covered for each other in such a way. I was so proud of them as humans, as collaborators. And then they were also able to look at the unhoused community in Radford and the supports that was there. And you could see their evolution with each person they talked to and how they thought about the whole project. They talked with local law enforcement, they talked with city planners, they talked with nonprofit leadership, did a mini network analysis, and started to find the holes and break down and how difficult it is to do that. And there were good people working on the project. It was not for lack of caring in the community, but it was lack of resources, lack of communication, lack of structure. And they pitched a concrete project for how Radford students could get involved and help move it forward.
So, yeah, it's a really difficult question because there's so many excellent projects. My favorite, at the very least, that comes to mind actually did not win an award. Recently, this year, unfortunately, did not get the chance to serve as a peer mentor, but I did get to serve as a guest speaker for the Research Rookies cohort. I was able to teach them about what's called zine making, so book making. And so students were taught to be able to make these books and then would hand them out about their topic at Wicked Festival. And so one of my favorites was called Pixel Perfect Propaganda, a lot of P's. And it was about the rise of misinformation with AI, which I find to be a very relevant topic, not only due to misinformation, but also the environmental impact of AI personally. But I got to use these zines as examples when I taught my 8th graders about zine making and advocacy and activism within art. And so students were able to review and discuss these zines and were able to recognize and kind of articulate what were they talking about, what was the impact and the relevance of their topic. And so not only did the research students, the research rookies, get to serve as role models for activism with artwork, but they also were able to show students that they were able to use artwork to say their opinions and have a voice, which I thought was very impactful.
That's amazing, and I think that those both sound really, really, really interesting. What makes you hopeful in the work that you do?
The short answer is Eden and students like Eden. Over time, all of the things, all of the problems, and and you work so hard and you make minimal impact sometimes at some of these irretractable problems, and it can be disheartening. But the students, they always come in with passion and energy, and really, it's heartening to have that as a teacher, to have those students come in with all of that. And hopefully, I have some wisdom and I can provide some scaffolding so that energy is used in a way that is effective and helps bring that change to the world. But it's really the students, it's their energy, it's their passion. Anyone trying to make change knows how hard it is. It's not linear. And you need each other when you're doing that kind of work to help support each other. And you need different people with different viewpoints and different energy levels, and working together as a team is really what makes it sustainable.
So I'm going to kind of have a similar answer of being able to work with students. So right now I'm a student teacher, so I've worked with pre-K to 2nd grade and then also 7th and 8th grade, which are two very different groups. But being able to experience firsthand and work with firsthand the students that are going to be our future artists, our future leaders, our future change makers has been really impactful and has given me hope. I'd say that a lot of people kind of view art classrooms as just kind of a break. And so even in an art classroom, and I'd say especially in one, students are able to gain skills like communication, critical thinking, collaboration, and then also are able to think about the world around them, are able to think about problems and change and have complex discussions about that. A lot of my work with Joe has been about student development, and I'm still very passionate about that to this day, even if we're not working on this research project anymore. So being able to, I have a lot of students that honestly I'd say that are so so thoughtful and well spoken that they probably have a better head on their shoulders than me. And so being able to work with those students and then guide the ones that are a bit different and give them those opportunities and provide them chances to develop skills, to have conversations with their peers, and to actually make changes in their communities, even with their artwork, gives me a lot of hope, not only in my own work, but also for future generations.
Well, you two have been an absolute blast, and I want to say thank you for coming on Hope Happenings today. This has been our episode, and stay tuned for episodes to come on hopeful news happening around Radford.